Shalom, 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 saints of the Most High Yah. This Pastor Rufus coming to you from the service of Yah. Hey, check this out. Had a chance to do a lot of thinking, a lot of meditating, and first and foremost, I want to send a shout out to all you saints that have earnestly kept myself and all of Israel in your prayers. It is definitely a lot going on right now, and there are many things that are moving in the spirit, that are taking place, shifting, purging, and we thank the Father for those things. They're going to get us closer to Him. They're going to make us more attentive to His ways and His desires. Prayerfully it does. But I want to send a shout out to all you that earnestly pray for these types of things for Israel and specifically for myself. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. And I'm also grateful to the brethren that I'm in levels of fellowship with that hold me accountable for the things that I do and the things that I may not do. So I'm grateful for that. Another special shout out goes to my brother in Texas, and you know who you are. Thank you, because you put out a text from Jeremiah 10, and that text really hit home to me about the behavior and the pattern of what the pastors are becoming. And I take the calling on my life very serious. When I got ordained a pastor, the number one sentiment that came from everybody that I spoke with, I want to almost say 100%. I can't think of really anybody that didn't tell me when they were congratulating me for becoming a pastor, which I don't necessarily know if that's in order or not, but when they did, seemed like every single person said to me, you know, elder, because I've been elder for so long, so a lot of people still identify me and know me as elder, which I'm fine with. You know, I'm Brother Rufus, I'm elder, I'm pastor, whatever you want to call me, doesn't matter. But they would say, you know, elder, you've been doing this, like being a pastor, taking care of the people, taking care of y'all sheep for a long time. So the title itself didn't really hold much merit to a lot of folk, because it didn't matter, because I already had been operating in the office. And, you know, after meditating and thinking about just where we are right now, what we're doing in Israel right now, I had to thank the Father, because He set it up for me to live my life in such that manner to where I am consistently taking care of His people. I actually accepted everything that was said in Acts. I've lived my life to where I've had nothing that I've called my own. When I grew up as a young child, like when I was really young, we were poor. You know, like pre-10-year-old or whatever, we were poor. And I've lived my life where the world will say, well, you got a lot of money, you know, or you're making six figures or double six figures, or you make a lot of money. And I thank the Father, even in that, my lifestyle never changed. It stayed the same. I didn't go out and start buying, you know, expensive houses, expensive cars. Now, I had an investment house that, you know, I bought as an investment, and never was that. I bought it with the intent, it was a condo actually, but I bought it with the intent of renting it out and making money off it being a rental property. And I never once collected 1 month rent on the 18 months that I owned it. I literally let people that didn't have places to go live in a condo. Now, mind you, my friends and family said, you stupid. You go live in a condo, put them in that house in the hood that you bought for $35,000. And I'm like, no. because all my stuff there, I'm comfortable there. I'm cool there, you know. And I can honestly say, like, every single time in my life where I have put people up, which has been my whole life, really, since 14 years old, I've been doing this. I got my place right before turning 15, my first place. And a couple weeks later, I moved a brother in that was 21 years old that was living with his sister. You know, I had a 1-bedroom and moved him in, and eventually gave him that place and found me another place. But every single person that I've ever let, what quote unquote, stay with me, I've never once charged them rent. I never once made them pay a light bill. The worst case scenario for them was buying their own food. And a lot of times they didn't even have to do that. You know? So I've lived my life after the mantra, after what the texts say, that once you really receive this thing from Yah, you'll have nothing that you actually call your own. So in this life, I don't have nothing to lose. I don't, because nothing is mine. Nothing belongs to me. It all belongs to Yah and his people. And I'm thankful that back then in my teens, definitely all the way through my 20s and through my 30s, and now I'm in my 50s, I'm still living like that. And I thank the Father for it. But that brother, that special brother that I love dearly, I love him, I love his family dearly, down there in Texas, he put out a text message, and it got to me. He didn't send it to me, but it got to me. And I believe it's in Jeremiah 10, and it's speaking about the brutishness of pastors. It really hit my heart because I take my calling serious. And that is the last thing that I want to do or give the perception to the people that I am. No, I'm your brother, and I'm here to serve. That's it. I'm here to serve. So to all the saints that have labored in prayer and intercession and support through text messages and emails of encouragement and all that, those of you that truly believe in what's going on in the fight of Israel, I need to apologize to you, because things have been done that may have embarrassed you, that may have put a stain on the work that's being done for the Most High Yah. And I know y'all know that that is not my intent, but you know as well as I do too that even though it wasn't my intent, it could still end up being the outcome of what it was. And for that, I'm very, very sorry. I hate that it got to that point, because it's easy to walk in the flesh, but it's also easier to slide out of, it's easier to walk in the spirit. It's easy to do that, but it's also easier to slide out of the spirit and walk in the flesh and forget that this is not a battle against flesh and blood. This is principalities that we're fighting. So none of us are gonna win this thing by balling up our fist. None of us are gonna win this thing by pulling out our weapons, our carnal weapons of destruction. It's not how this fight is gonna be won. That's not how Yah's people are gonna get free. And after meditating and pondering and praying and seeking the face of the Father, repenting, crying, I get a greater revelation of what needs to be done. First step is what I'm doing now, is apologizing to all of you that have been faithful in your prayer game, that have been faithful in your belief that Yah's judgment and will go forward in this hour. And then again, I'm repenting and apologizing to you all, because I've done things that have made the pastoralship office appear brutish, self-centered, self-focused, absorbed with self, because you believe this is the way to get y'all's work done. This is spiritual warfare, and you're strategizing, and you come up with all kind of excuses when you want to walk in the flesh. But at the end of the day, truth don't need to be defended. You say it, you walk it out, you live it, and that's it. And I had to tell the Father, thank you. Thank you for allowing me and having me live my life in such a manner to where I have nothing that I call my own. That when I leave this place, nothing will be attached to me. It'll be here for your saints. Like, some of you have heard about my gun collection, right? That's come up in conversation. Do you know, if you're legal in this country to carry a gun, if you're legal, let me make that clear. If you're legal to carry a gun in whatever prospective state that you live in, do you know that that gun collection that is considered mine is actually yours too? Because any saint that has ever had a need to protect themselves or their family, and they have come to me and made it known, guess what? They've been able to go and choose any single gun out of that collection that they've ever wanted. I've never restricted them. I've never said, well, you can't have this one, you can't, well, this one's mine, and blah, blah, blah. Nope. Whatever they felt like was going to be good for their family and what their family needed to be protected, if I had it in that collection, they could take it. Now I have a box that's really nice, and it keeps like my 3 favorite guns in. Sometimes they're of higher expense, you know, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 guns, right? I've actually even let people go in that box. I had a brother, what's in there? I said, guns. Wow, can I see them? Sure. Open them up. Man, you know, I've never had a 1911. I've always wanted a 1911. And I had 2 of them in that box at the time. The other gun won a 1911 because 3 fit in there. And I said, take it, brother. And he looked, he's like, this looks way too expensive. I said, I didn't say pay for it. I said, take it. Because I got nothing that I call my own. I do the same with my shoe collection, because that's come up. That's been a popular conversation for some people. And if you wear a size 15, which not a lot of people do, but there are a lot that do. Actually, there's some that do, I should say. Not a lot, some. Any shoe that I've ever had in that collection, any saint that had the need could literally come in and take any shoe out of there that they want at any time. Nothing was ever been off limits to them. I live my life like that with everything I have. Like, I'm sitting in this vehicle right now. I actually had a brother had to stop me from giving this vehicle away. I had literally just bought it. I hadn't had the vehicle a month. But I saw a need out there, and I said, you know, we need this vehicle, but this family needs this vehicle more than we do. And I was ready to give it to him. And a brother stopped me and said, no, I have some other options. Let's go this route. So I went, looked at the other options. I was like, oh yeah, that fits their needs. Let's give them that then. Cool. But because it was in my possession and they had a need, guess what? I was about to give it to them. And it still works like that, y'all. If a saint comes to us and they have a need, and the best option to fill that need would be to give something that is technically in my possession, it's not technically in my possession, because I already know up here it belongs to Yah. And I have nothing that I call my own. Nothing. There's nothing I have that I call my own. And if you have the greater need, you will get it. And that's to any saint. That's to any saint. Now, I thank the Father for discernment, because you will get people out here call themselves saints that will want to take advantage of that. And that's just gonna end up hurting them in the end. So it's not like I blindly do stuff without discernment and ever, but you can tell when there's just a need. And I've never once closed up my bowels of compassion towards his people. So I'm actually grateful that he has allowed me to live a life that way. But brutish pastors, huh? No, that's not what we're going to become. We're going to do this thing the right way and let Yah be the judge in the end. Bless y'all, saints. Shalom, shalom.